Do you want to know what are the 6 steps to attain job readiness and to future-proof your career? Then this video is for you. Being a fresh youth talent and an early career professional, it's very important for you to know the 6 steps. So while we get into that, my name is Shyam Pandian. I'm a hyper-growth career coach and the founder of Job Readiness Hub. I help students and professionals early in their career to attain their career niche clarity to thrive in the future of work. So let's get into the 6 steps. So as you could see on the screen, this is where we have our 6 steps. So what's the first step? The number 1 step that I recommend for you is discovery. So what do I mean by discovery? Is really discovering yourself. Beyond discovering yourself, it's beyond a self-discovery. You need to also discover a lot of things like where do you belong to, what is happening around you, and how is the future looking like. So if you don't understand where you belong to today, how will you be able to relate to the future of work tomorrow, right? So remember one thing, whenever you approach a job search strategically, you're going to have a much better result. So for you to help you with this discovery process, I would like to break down this into 3 sub-steps, right? I would say the sub-step number 1 is you need to really discover or understand or do a lot of research on the foundational principles of industrial revolutions. Where do we belong to? How is the world of work changing? How is the industries changing? So what revolution are we currently at? And how is the future looking like? You need to really understand these basic fundamental concepts. I don't want you to deep dive into each of this because it's going to take a lot of time. I have done a lot of deep research in a short, crisp form, but you need to at least understand the basics of what are the industrial revolutions and how is the future looking like. So the number 2 sub-step for you to discover or to complete your discovery is, I also want you to understand what are the technological impacts on industries and job functions, how the technology is impacting each and every industry today. The number 3 sub-step that I would want you to do is look at the modernized job functions, new job functions that are being created, right? So what are those new job functions, right? So for one classic example is if you look back, HR as an example is considered as recruiting, and then you also do about your attendance, payroll, leave management, payrolling, and then a few employee grievances, compliance and all of that. But now today, people are also talking about within HR there is talent acquisition as a function, and or sub-function within TA we also have talent analytics. People are talking about your onboarding experiences, employee onboarding experience. People are talking about your HR analytics, your attrition data, attrition analytics. A lot of new job functions or sub-functions are getting created because of the digital world. So you need to really understand. So this was just one example that I wanted to tell you, but you need to really understand how the modernized job functions are being evolved, right? So this is the first step that I want you to do a deep dive research, discover beyond yourself. You need to really understand where do you belong to, how different industries are getting impacted, and basic high-level research. I can also help you with this research. Stay tuned with me and I will be able to guide you through a deep dive research process and all of that. So what's step 2? Once you have discovered a lot of things, now it's like you have done a lot of research. You need to, you have spent a lot of time on videos and understanding. Now you need to really align yourself, right? You need to really align yourself with your career aspirations. And this is a very fundamental step once you have completed your discovery or research process. The reason why I'm saying this is because this is your future. This is where you are going to be spending the rest of your life with, the time that you're going to be spending, right, at work. So if you're really not happy about what you are going to do or where you're going to get into, you will not be a happy individual. When I say alignment, I'm talking about attaining career niche clarity. So what do you mean by career niche clarity? You can't be doing a nursing course and come and tell me that you want to fly a plane. It's really not possible, right? So you need to align with your interest, with your aspirations, with your educational background, coupled with the real-time talent demand which is in the industry. So for you to do this, there are a lot of steps or exercises, but on a bare minimum, I recommend you to do these 3 steps or 3 exercises. Is a deep research on the chosen tech trend. You can come back and say that, hey, I'm not a technology person, I'm not a software engineer. No, still I want you to do a deep research on the tech trends. Only if you understand where you stand now, you will be able to look beyond today and future proof your career. And in fact, first of all, attain job readiness. If you don't even know where you belong to, what are the tech trends that's happening around you, you will be outdated, right? I will come to why this step very shortly, but definitely is I want you to do a deep dive research on the tech trends. Number 2 is I want you to do a deep dive research on the chosen industry. How are the industries evolving? What are those industries that is thriving amidst this pandemic, COVID-19, and what are the futuristic industries that is also booming, coming up, and how do the talent landscape in those industries exist, right? So you need to really understand or do a deep dive research on the chosen industry. The third thing that I also wanted you to do is a deep research on chosen job role or job function. So not just technology or software programming, it could be any other job role or function like HR, finance, sales, marketing, digital marketing, operations, any such job function, right? Based on your career niche clarity. Or for you to attain that career niche clarity, you need to do a lot of research. So when I say career niche clarity, I also help students to take up a 30-day challenge and help them or guide them step by step in doing all of these exercises or activities to attain their career niche clarity and then gain industry awareness, job function, and then specializations and all of that. So to gain access to those videos and components, I recommend you 2 steps. Number 1 is make sure that you are subscribed. Number 2 is make sure that you are a part of my Facebook VIP group because that's where you get instant updates. And get into the step 3. Once you have discovered and you have aligned yourself with your career aspirations, what's step number 3? Step number 3 is validation. You need to validate your chosen career niche. So what do I mean by validation and why is it important? Guys, this is your future. You are going to be choosing a career niche and getting into that workforce. I have a simple 5P formula to make sure that you are validating your chosen career niche. And let's deep dive into the 5P model. So the 5P, the first P is your passion. So are you really passionate about what you're trying to do, right? So you need to be really passionate. If you're not passionate about what you're trying to do or what you're getting into, you will not enjoy it in the long run. The second P that I want you to think about is problem. So why problem, right? Why are we all being hired? We are being hired to solve any of the problems. Today, a doctor is trying to solve a life problem. An engineer is trying to solve probably a technological problem. A data scientist is trying to solve a business problem. So we are all getting hired because there are some problems that exist and organizations are trying to solve, and hence we are all getting hired, right? So that's the fundamental. So third P is persona. So whom are you solving this problem for? Say for example, Uber or Ola, for example, right? What is the problem statement they're trying to solve? Or Ola is a technology platform. On one side, they have ride seekers, and on the other side, they have ride offerers. They're just trying to bridge the gap between the seekers and the ride offerers through their geolocation, and most importantly, the real time. This is one of my favorite statements that my mentor says. If your passion is solving a problem for a particular persona, then you are very much needed. P is potential. So what is the potential, right? For example, same example, Uber or Ola, what's the potential? How many times an individual will need to go on a ride, right? We don't know. It really depends, right? So it's just for one time, then you're not really talking about any huge potential. It's just a one-time effort. But yeah, considering the masses, the volume, it's there. But if you're looking at such a problem statement and trying to solve them, that every time they need a ride, the platform is there to support them, and trying to help them find a ride and reach safely. The recurring potential that you're trying to solve, right? Fifth P is payment. If, like how my mentor says, when your passion can solve a problem focused on a particular persona, and there is a potential in the market and willingness to pay you, then you have found your career niche, and you can future proof your career, right? So this 5P model really helps you to go back and look at your research and your self discovery and alignment, and how do you really validate your career path, right? If you're not able to validate this, right, probably you have taken up something that has come your way, and over a period of time you will not be really happy about what you're doing, right? And this is career, and this is your this is where you will spend most of your time. We spend about 8 to 10 hours a day for our jobs, right? The first 3 steps is like the foundation, right? So once you have discovered a lot of things and then you have aligned yourself with your career aspirations, number 3 is you have validated, right? You have validated your career niche clarity. So what's the 4th step? So what could be the 4th step? The 4th step is empowering yourself, right? So what do you mean by empowering yourself? So you are the talent supply. You are the talent supply. You have to empower yourself to become a future ready workforce. So for you to empower, I would recommend 2 steps. Number 1 is you need to follow set timelines, a set learning routine. Could be 30 minutes, could be 1 hour or 2 hours, or probably 4 hours a day. It depends on where you stand currently, what you're trying to do currently. But you need to definitely have a learning routine to attain job readiness and to future proof your career. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult. So you need to follow the discipline of spending some time for yourself, right? The second step to empower yourself is you need to undergo some specializations on top of basic curriculums, right? If you're already in a specialization course, say for example in an MBA, and then within MBA you are in example like analytics, you're already there. You don't need to really look back and understand what you need to do. You will have to do some exercises like the discovery, the validation and all of that. But guys, learning is a never-ending process. I still keep learning on an everyday basis. Even if you get into a job today, tomorrow, there is an L&D team in your organization. There will be, most probably, if it's a large organization, who's trying to help you learn. They curate learning programs for various departments, various individual needs based on their aspirations, personalized learning journeys and all of that. So learning is a never-ending process. Everyone learns every single day. They know it or they don't know it, but it's the truth. It's the fact. Learning is never-ending. And being a fresh youth talent and early career professionals, this is the right time for you to learn more, right time for you to absorb more knowledge. Only then you'll be able to future-proof your career, right? So if you are just in your engineering or just in your BSc or BCom kind of courses, or any such generic MBA courses, you need to really understand that you need to invest in your self-learning, and you need to really invest in special curriculums or specialization courses on top of your basic curriculums. For you to be unique, for you to stand out of the crowd, you need to really do something which is unique, right? So that is what is specialization. You're investing on yourself, right? Education is an investment, and only when you learn, you will be able to future-proof your career, right? This course that you're watching right now is also your learning, right? But this is like the map. This will take you through your destination. But once you reach the destination, or for you to reach the destination, there are multiple paths, right? So once you reach the destination, this is like a navigation map. Like do this, do discovery, do your alignment, and then validation and all of that. But you need to really be there to be able to grab that job, right? So what will help today's youth is you need to undergo specialization courses on top of basic curriculums. That's step number 4, empowering yourself. So what's next? Step number 5. You have discovered, you have aligned your career with yourself, you have validated your chosen career niche, and you have empowered yourself. Now you're all set. right? So what's next? What's the fifth step? The fifth step is positioning yourself, right? So what do you mean by positioning yourself? Where do you position yourself? To whom do you position yourself? All of that is covered deep dive into this. So the number one step to position yourself is you need to have a keyword friendly CV. How do you Google search, right? Keywords. The same way recruiters or hiring managers also do a keyword search. So you need to have a keyword friendly CV, and you also need to have a rocking LinkedIn profile. In fact, this is a title, it's called as Rock Your LinkedIn Profile. It's a session that we do. I have done it personally with my teams back. Then I have also done this session at LinkedIn offices, where we understand the different elements, different components of LinkedIn, and how do we master our LinkedIn profile, right? So this is something very important for you to position yourself, right? So once you have empowered yourself, you've gained those required knowledge, you need to really position yourself in the right way to the right audience. Only then you will be able to get the job or attain job readiness, right? So you need to have this keyword friendly CV and your LinkedIn profile. The second thing to position yourself is you need to have, or you need to build some influence. How do you build influence? I'm not talking about influencing NASA and things like that. No. Being a fresh youth talent, it's really easy to build some influence around you for the right audience. To attract your hiring manager, or to attract the recruiters, right? Say for example, if I was a hiring manager, and if I see someone like you, multi-talented and creating some buzz on social media, and I would definitely think that, hey, he's an interesting guy, I would like to have someone like him or her to work with me in my team, right? So that's your influence building. I also coach students on building their influence based on their chosen career niche. Make sure that you are subscribed and you are also a part of my special VIP group in Facebook, so that you get those flash instant updates. To position yourself, all you need to do is you need to have an elevator pitch. So how do you crack the code, right? So once you're building your influence and you are putting yourself right in front of the right audience and relevant audience, and when you get a chance to speak, not necessarily to speak or a conversation, but at least an introduction message and templates, you need to really have a solid elevator pitch. There are various components to it. There are various pieces to it to craft a elevator pitch. I also help students do all of this. So stay tuned. As I said, subscribe and make sure that you are a part of my Facebook VIP group. So this is your fifth step. Position yourself, right? So let's talk about the last step, step 6. What is the sixth step? So you have really discovered yourself and where do you belong to, what's happening around you. You have aligned yourself with your career aspirations. You have validated your career niche, profile, or clarity. You have then empowered yourself through some learnings and you have educated yourself. Number 5 is you have also positioned yourself now, built a social presence and built an influence for you based on your career niche and for you to position yourself as a job ready talent, right? So what's step number 6? Attract. Start attracting. 2 things. Number 1 is your interview funnels. How would you feel if you have 3 or 4 interviews of your dream jobs from your dream companies in your funnel, right? You're having progressive conversations with 3 or 4 of your dream jobs based on your chosen career niche. You're having progressive conversations. Ultimately, you'll be able to work with any one of them only. You need to really look at building an interview funnel for you, right? You need to attract your interview funnel. Number 2 is I also help students and assist them on getting gigs, projects, internships, and also placements based on their chosen career niche, right? So make sure that you are subscribed and make sure that you are a part of my Facebook VIP group, where I help and coach students, put them on a 30-day challenge to attain their career niche clarity, to help them with all of the steps that we spoke just now. So I hope that you really enjoyed the 6-step process to attain job readiness and to future-proof your career. make sure that you are subscribed and you are also a part of my Facebook VIP group, which is very important, being a fresh youth talent and early career professionals, because you need some direction, and that's what I intend to do. I have taken multiple career paths, multi-dimensional career paths myself, and hence I had been able to arrive at this stage. The reason why I'm in the career space today is I really want to help students attain that career niche clarity, understand themselves, to help them really understand themselves and the future of work. I wish you everyone all the very best, and I'm wishing you in your career aspirations all successes. Stay tuned.